Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Al-Azouzi from easymedicaldevice.com. And today we will talk about an economic operator. So we have a lot of economic operators and our guest today will try to help us to understand them. But we'll focus on a specific one, which is the distributor. So for that, I have with me Nicolaj Nitzsch. He's the sales manager at Scan-Med Norway. Scan-Med Norway is a distributor, so it's why I invited him to help us understand what is the current situation for distributors with the new medical device regulation. So Nicolaj, welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast.
Thank you.
So Nicolaj, just quickly, we met together because you were releasing some videos on LinkedIn talking about MDR, the situation that is happening, asking questions to people, also about Brexit, some video about Brexit, which were really great. And I decided to connect with you to understand more why you are doing all those videos. And then we discussed about the situation about distributors. And I said, oh, it would be really great to talk about that on my podcast. So then it's why we really planned this episode because I think there is a lot of information that are didn't reach, if I can say, the distributors. So it would be great then to inform them of what they should put in place to be compliant. So before that, Nicolaj, so can you introduce yourself and tell us more about you?
Yeah, thanks. My name is Nicolaj Nitzsch, and I work as a sales manager for neurology products in Norway at ScanMed. We have some challenging about the MDR, so that was why I wanted to sort of inform people about that in the videos that you have seen on LinkedIn. So that was really nice that you reached out and wanted to make this podcast.
And when we were looking at that, you were kind of alarming, or not alarming, really trying to get information to say people, hey guys, do you know about this? Hey guys, do you know about that? So it's something that is currently a problem for your company, if I can say, for the distributors that you are. So you start to see some issues, if I can say.
Yeah, exactly. You know that the MDR deadline is coming quite close, and I have the feeling that some companies and manufacturers maybe are too late, maybe not too late, but there's not enough notified bodies to handle all these manufacturers. So I think that is a problem, and I wanted to get some focus on that.
No, I think it's great.
So that's why.
So let's start now just to explain a bit to the people what are the economic operators. So maybe you can help us on that because you are one. I mean, everybody nearly is one. There is each one has his own role. So what are now the economic operators?
Right now we have some different operators. We have the manufacturers, of course. Then we have the authorized representative. Then we have the importer and the distributor. So each of them are described in the MDR with its own rules, what they have to fulfill. I've been mainly focusing on the distributor point of view because that's where we are standing. But there are quite some requirements if you are an importer as well or a authorized representative.
Yeah.
So
we have those four actors. This is really something new. I mean, this is a new vocabulary that is coming now with the MDR, which bring really clear responsibility, if I can say, regarding those operators, which was not the case with the MDD. Now those operators are really critical. Because they have really some kind of high responsibility and not just move, if I can say, the products without really looking at them. They have really to have a close look at those products. So,
and if I can say, what's nice about the MDR is that it's clear defined who has what responsibilities. So that's really good, actually.
Yeah, exactly. It's true that, as I've said, MDD was not so clear with that. So we had a lot of maybe questions and there was no answer inside the guidance or inside the MDD, and now it's clarified with that. But it also put a lot of pressures on the manufacturers, because now there is a lot of things that those economic operators have to do to check that the manufacturer has done his job. When before it was more the job of a notified body, and now it's really a job of a lot of other entities that are running around those manufacturers.
Exactly.
So now let's focus on distributor. So you are a distributor, your company is a distributor of medical devices. So what can you tell us about the distributor role and the chances, if I can say, or the responsibilities? What are they now and what they should put in place to be compliant to the MDR 2017-745 and also IVDR?
Yeah, exactly. What our responsibility has become is that we have to check that the manufacturers are fulfilling the MDR. So that's a responsibility for the distributor. We have to check that the devices are CE marked, that labels and the manuals are in local language or a language that this country accepts. Then we have to verify that the importer's name is either on the device or in the documentation. If I have to look back at devices, these are usually on the devices.
Okay.
Then we have to verify that they have this new UDI number on the device. Then we have to make sure that our storage and shipment is acquired to the manufacturer's demands. They have to approve how they should be shipped and stored. So we have to make sure that that's fulfilled. Then we have to register complaints, callbacks, misused devices and stuff like that. And we have to make sure that public authorities have access to this information on request.
Okay. So it's mainly a long list of activities. Do you know if some of those requirements were already exist? I mean, you were already fulfilling that before, or there are all new requirements that you have now to fulfill?
Actually, what we have a lot of these things we have done for many years. We just have to make sure that what we have been doing for all these years is compliant with the new MDR. So that's what we are investigating at the moment. For example, we have had a system where complaints and recalls and stuff like that is documented in. We just now have to make sure that all the information we have in there is enough information, because we have been giving manufacturers that for some years.
So it means that I mean, yeah, it's these new requirements about post-marketing service that we have really all the information coming from the different economic operators. Did you had to create a specific software or a specific system for that, or you had already that before? Or you have to change something now on your systems?
We have had it before, so we just we have to make some small adjustments for it. We want to, if public authorities want this information, we sort of want easy to export this information or give them access to the system in some way. So that's something we have to look into, how we can do that easily. And then we also have to make sure that the information in the system is what is compliant.
So now, regarding the first requirement, which is about looking at the CE certificate. So it's something that you will do. I mean, how should we do that? So you'll do that for each shipment, you'll do that for each product, you'll do that for what is the requirements here?
We will do it for each product.
But so when you receive the product for the first time only, or when you receive each time you receive a new batch or a new product, you have to check that?
It's not the batch. It's you sort of have the CE marking that's compliant for this product, and then you have an end date for that that product, and before that end date, we will check for a new CE marking.
Okay, so it's really that you have a clear database saying we have received the CE mark certificate. It's from this date to this date, and before the end of the date, you have to reach out again to the manufacturer and ask him to provide me that things. And if he doesn't provide that to you, I suppose that you have to stop the delivery of this product.
Yeah, exactly. We will have to have a closer contact with the manufacturers if they can't provide it, because we need to know, okay, why can't they provide it? Is it because that they're not fulfilling it? And if the product doesn't have a CE mark, we are not allowed to bring it to market.
Yeah, clear.
And we also have the responsibility, if we sort of have we have a feeling that a strong feeling that this product does not fulfill MDR for some reason, then we have to give the local authorities a notification about that together with the manufacturer.
So it's it's really something that I see on many economic operators. I saw that also on the authorized representative. He's an authorized representative for a foreign company, a company that outside of Europe. And if he sees that anything is wrong with the product that they are providing to Europe, he has the responsibility to alert and to inform the authorities. So it's something that is really clear now, that you are also responsible if there is something that's happening to the market when you know about the product that is wrong, then it's also your responsibility. Is this something that is creating more awareness for a distributor to say, oh guys, we have really this responsibility now, we are liable, so we should take more care about it, we should create more quality control points or this kind of thing?
Yeah, of course it will be, because we are responsible for that part as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to check our manufacturers more carefully than we have done before, because we have this obligation as well. So that is something we will consider.
One new thing now, which I suppose is really important also for the distributors, is the UDI. So UDI is something that is new for Europe. It's already existing in the US and maybe other regions, but for Europe, it's quite new. So does this change anything to you or to the distribution that you are doing for your products?
Yeah, because we have to, I can say what we're doing today is that we have these serial and lot numbers. We have to sort of know where we have sold them to. The same we have to do with this UDI number. So what we're going to do is that we are in the database where we document where we have sold the serial numbers to. We're going to add the UDI field as well, so that we can say, okay, this UDI number is sold to this hospital at that date. Yeah, because that would help if you have a recall or a complaint or anything.
Exactly. So you have really to track back when the manufacturer will contact you and say, I had an issue with this UDI code.
Yeah.
So you have to track back and see exactly where the product was going, so that you can or recall it or inform the hospitals or do some actions, which is really also part of the vigilance process for in Europe.
But that's actually not so different for us, because we used to do that with a serial number or a lot number. So if the manufacturers come to us and say, oh yeah, this lot number has a recall, so you have to get all those back, we can track those today. So adding this UDI number is not so difficult an operation for us. So that's yeah. And, you know, they have standard in the statement that it should be a barcode or a QR code
or RFID.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite easy for us to add that to our system. It's not punching a lot of numbers. So it's going to be good.
Do you have already some kind of system to read that? So barcode, RFID, or QR code, it's something that you don't have to invest in to get that?
No, we have that today. We actually scan serial numbers today if the serial number is a barcode.
Okay, so yeah, for the audience, just to maybe explain that, yeah, we can have a lot number on the products, we can have a serial number on the products, etc. The UDI is containing those numbers. So the UDI is part of, there is two parts. There is the UDI-DI, which is a fixed number, which is specific to the products and the level of packaging that you have on the products. And you have the UDI-PI, which is the production identification number, which tells you the expiry date, which tells you the lot number, the serial number, etc., etc. And it's why it's contained inside. So when you have a lot number, when you have a UDI code, you have really the ID card of the products. When you have just a lot number, you are, if, for a distributor, I suppose that it can be more difficult because maybe some other companies do have the same kind of format of lot number, which is not really maybe easy then to track.
Exactly. One thing I also want to mention is that that the label and manufacturer or the manuals have to be in a local language. That should be provided by the manufacturers. I know that some distributors and importers, they actually translate these by local companies or themselves. And if they do that on the MDR, they will actually have all the same obligations as the manufacturers.
Yeah, clear.
So they will take on quite a lot of responsibility if they do that.
So this is something that is also important, the local languages. One thing that is currently not clear for me and maybe for others, there is no kind of official list of which language is accepted by each country. So it means that Sweden, for example, where you are, I think for sure Swedish will be one language, but do they accept also English? Do they accept another maybe Finnish language? This is something that is not really clear for people, and maybe if somebody can provide a kind of a list of official accepted language for each country can be also helpful. But yeah, I think it's something that is difficult for manufacturers. So are you helping them to tell them you should provide us those documents in this language?
Yeah, we do that. We do that today, but it's hard to convince a big global manufacturers that we need a Norwegian manual where there only is a population of 5 million people.
Okay.
So that's that can be a struggle sometimes, but I hope actually the MDR will help us in that, because now we can say this is your responsibility and you need to do it. And actually, regarding the languages, I know in Norway, the only accepted language is actually Norwegian.
Okay. So it's the same in France. In
Yeah.
France, we have the same thing. So we have a local law that says French is the only language that is accepted on documentation, administration, etc., which is something that can be a struggle for some manufacturers that are selling the products in the region. But we have the chance that French is talked in France, in Belgium, in Switzerland, so in other African countries also. So it can make it easier for them to say that we have the possibility to distribute that in many countries. But yeah, I think one of the struggle will be the languages. So for now, you as a distributor, you are not translating languages and providing new IFUs, etc., with your translations to those manufacturers.
No, you know, there is a official manual from the manufacturers that we will provide with the equipment, and sometimes we, together with hospitals, we will provide a custom quick guide for systems or something like that. So we have to investigate also if that would fall into this category, or how that works. And regarding the languages, I know that some hospitals, they will accept other manuals than just Norwegian, for example, but that's a local thing they have.
Okay, so yeah, it's, I think, something, a question that we should really answer about languages, what is accepted, what is not accepted, because now it's really written on the MDR that it's only local accepted language that is that should be fulfilled, and on those documentation, so which can make the life of the manufacturers a bit more difficult, but maybe also the life of distributors if they are taking care of many countries at the same time. So Okay, so do you think there is something else here to talk about the distributor? Because I think the issue is also that if those distributors are not changing that or putting that in place, they will not be able anymore to distribute the products if they don't have this kind of activity done. So
Mm.
are you now in progress to change something on your systems so that you are compliant to the MDR and IVDR?
Yeah, we're sort of trying to make a like a checklist system. We have to check if the manufacturers is fulfilling MDR. We have to check, do we have CE marking for this? When is the expire date? And all these checks we have to do for each manufacturers and each product.
And about also the agreement that you are signing with the manufacturers, I think something like
Yeah,
that also should be changed.
yeah, exactly. A lot of manufacturers will probably come to us with new agreements, and there we have to check what they state that we are. If they state we are an importer or a distributor, and there's a lot of companies who are a bit confused in this actually. But if someone wants for us to be an importer, they have to be aware that our name has to be stamped on the device, for example, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So mainly we want to be a distributor, and when you talk to manufacturers, that's also what they want actually.
Okay. So you are not importer, it means.
No.
Okay. So an importer is mainly somebody that is bringing products from outside of Europe to inside of Europe. So
Yeah.
it means placing the products on the market, which is can be the role only of a manufacturer or of an importer. And distributors are the ones that receive the product from the manufacturers or the importers to be then sold on the European country. But yeah, it's just to make a precision for that. So
Yeah.
Nicolaj, just maybe let's talk a bit more about your company as a distributor, so Scan-Med. Can you tell us
Yeah.
more about it, what they are doing, what their specialty, where they are maybe?
Yeah, exactly. ScanMed Norway is a group where we have companies in Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and of course Norway, where we're located. So we are around 60 people in our group. And we distribute a lot of different products, EEG products, dialysis, birth monitoring products, yeah, and we have some light treatment products as well. So we do quite a lot. We're strong in EEG. We're strong in ECG, dialysis, and have quite a lot of equipment around the hospitals in the Nordics. So that makes us quite a strong partner, because we have local people and local offices in each country. So that's a big advantage for us. The manufacturers usually they can either have one contact for the whole Nordics, or they can have contacts in each country. We're very flexible on that. The founder of the company is still very active in the company, and that's a very good thing, because we sort of, even though we are 60 people, we act as a small company. We don't have a lot of management change or stuff like that. So we are flexible in doing things.
Yeah, I think
And we have been around for nearly 40 years now.
so a solid partner, as you mentioned. So are you accepting new customers? Because maybe some of the audience are looking for a distributor to sell their products in Europe. So are you somebody that is accepting new customers?
Yeah, we're always interested in to hear what people have, and then we can have a look at the products and see if that's something that's interested for the customers we have, or how it should be.
Okay, no, it's great. So yeah, as I've said, ScanMed looks like a really strong partner. They are already moving to the MDR changes, so it's something that is really great. Just one last question, maybe for you. It's what is one thing that you think that MDR or IVDR will maybe uh, change or will create maybe some difficulties for you? So what is one thing?
One thing is that that this whole notified body is where we don't have enough notified bodies to certify all the companies for the new MDR. So we maybe fear that some companies will not make it in time. Then we are not able to buy the products from them after May 2020. And that means also that we cannot bring these products to market. And that's something that we're looking into at the moment, if that's going to be a scenario for us, or what's it going to be.
Yeah. So I think it's clear then, to inform the manufacturers about the potential risk they have if they are not complying to the MDR, that they have also to find quickly a new notified body if their notified body is not moving to the MDR or IVDR. And then also to contact their distributors so that they can really already start the journey with them. It's one of the things that I had with a discussion with Angelina Hakim on one of my video. Is one of the pitfall for an MDR and IVDR project is to start to contact your distributor when you have finished everything, and you just send them the agreement to say, oh, sign here, and maybe then they will not like what you wrote inside, or they cannot fulfill the requirements that are mentioned. So it's why it's a journey. So embark with you all the distributors, importers, or authorized representative with you to see if they will be able to comply with your requirements, and so that you are not losing time and you are not putting also your company in danger because you will not be able to place your products on the market. So great. Something else from your side?
No, I just want to mention that this is, of course, our opinion, and there can be other opinions as well. So,
so if you are distributors and have other opinion, other way to do things, please reach out to me also. I'm really interested to hear that. And as I've said here, the objective is really to educate and help the distributors to understand what are their requirements, so that they are really fulfilling the MDR and IVDR requirements. But as we said, so it's really really not something that is on the marble. So you have really to think about it, to find the best way for you to comply with the MDR and IVDR, and then to be able to place the products on the market. Okay, so for the people that are really looking at this podcast, so please don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel or on the Apple Podcast or on the other providers. Don't forget also to provide me a review, a nice review, please, just to say that if you liked it or not. I saw some reviews that were good, and where there is also some good feedback on how I can improve the podcast. So I will take that into account for next episode. So thank you for that. And please also don't forget to go to some other providers like Alexa or Google Home. I'm starting now to have this available. So just say, Alexa, can you make me the medical device podcast, and let's see if it's working or not. And so please also, if you have any other comments or any other topics that you really want to see on the podcast, don't hesitate. Please send me an email. Just say to me that you really want to hear about this and that. I saw something about PMCF, about PMS, etc. So I will try to get back with some people about that. But there is so many topics to cover. So thank you for that, and thank you for all your feedback. Okay, Nicolaj, so thank you for your help. Thank you for all the information you provided. As I said, so people, please contact Nicolaj. You are on LinkedIn, I think, as I find you on LinkedIn. So I'll put and also on the website, so ScanMed website, which I will put also the details. So if people want to follow up with you or want really to ask you any question. Okay, so Nicolaj, thank you, and I wish you a nice day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Bye.